Hello, everybody, and welcome to Project COVID. I'm your host, Tristan, and it is Friday's COVID conversation. And I'm so excited about my guest today. She is amazing, and I'm about to introduce her. So let me just read you the bio because it is amazing. So, Golda Houndoh, born in Togo, is a recent MSc Global Health Policy graduate from the University of Edinburgh. She is passionate about addressing the social determination of health and working and for undiscovered populations locally and globally. Golda currently works as the program director at Cayenne Wellness in California. Now, let me introduce Golda. Golda, let's do this. And she's about to join us. Let's see. Oh,
Hey
hey,
guys.
how you doing?
So good. So good to see you again. Long
So
time.
good to see you again so soon. So from the top, and we are just gonna go with it. But once again, did I do your bio justice?
Lovely, yes.
Really? Listen, can you tell me how to pronounce your last name?
Hundo.
Hundo?
Yeah, lovely.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, I hope I'm saying this right. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm one of those people who, like, I recognize faces more than I do, like, names and stuff. And so, like, I automatically recognize your face, like, when you popped up. And, of course, I recognized your first name, but I was like, I never said her last name before. So I hope I wasn't, like, mispronouncing it.
No worries.
So thank you so much.
Happy to be here again.
Yes. Well, like I said, you look fabulous. You're glowing. I can tell you've been drinking your water, getting your rest, and staying healthy during this whole pandemic, which is going crazy. But, we'll get into that. So let me ask my first question. Now, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Golda. I'm 24 years old. I am a sickle cell warrior with SC, and I was born in Togo, West Africa. I moved to the States when I was like 4 years old, and I'm currently serving as the program director of Cayenne Wellness Center in California.
Ooh, I love that. Like, you guys do such amazing
I know
work.
we've been inviting you to quite a bit. Thank you so much for always.
Oh my God. Anytime, like, listen, as long as my schedule like has that, opening, I'm there. So I don't care if it's like morning, noon, night. You guys send me the alert. I'm like, listen, I'm down. So anything for you guys, definitely. All right. So what was your vaccine experience like?
It was honestly very straightforward and chill. I got my first jab like end of February, and then the second one beginning of or mid-March or something like that. I got Pfizer, and I had absolutely no symptoms or anything like that. It was just very easy to the book. I'm one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, me too. Like, I actually got the Pfizer vaccine, and I keep saying this every like time I do this, but I got it back in February, and then my second one was March, and so I was like, feeling pretty good about going around and being around people and all that stuff. Of course, I still wear my mask, when I'm out and about. I travel with like hand sanitizer. I travel with gloves. Like when I'm at the gas station, like pumping gas, I have like these Lysol hand sanitizing wipes. I don't even touch gas pumps or like anything anymore. I'm just like, I grab everything with like the hand sanitizer, and I'm just like, I can't. Like, I'm a germaphobe already, so this is like sent me, you know what I mean, to like the extreme left. So, what is something you learned during this pandemic about SCD and COVID-19 that isn't common knowledge, do you think?
I think not many of us knew that, sickle cell could put us in a high risk category in relations to COVID-19. During the pandemic, in the very beginning, I was living in Scotland. So I got this letter from the NHS that said, isolate, don't go outside. We'll send you all your food and, your medication and stuff like that. But just don't go outside. You're in isolation. You are considered very high risk, and you are shielding from the public pretty much. So in the very beginning, that was very intense, and I sort of had to learn alongside. I think us sickle cell warriors were really learning alongside like all the scientists as they kind of figure out what the risks are, what the possible outcomes are for sickle cell disease and COVID-19. And of course, everyone's different, but yeah, I had that really big awakening that sickle cell is a high risk category, and we really had to be careful in regards to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like, I'm so glad that you talked about like how it was internationally, because everybody knows like over here in the US, like it was definitely like lockdown, shutdown. But I know like as I was watching like GMA and all that stuff, like over, seas and stuff, I was seeing that people were seriously like on lockdown. And so I'm glad that you brought up that point about Scotland. I'm glad they took it very seriously and kept you safe.
They did.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm just so glad that like I want to say we're not out of the woods, you know what I mean? Because we are still in a pandemic, but we are better and far more advanced than we were. So I do, clap for us as far as that goes. I just want everybody to kind of get on, one accord if we can. And you know what I mean? Like really do what they need to do so we can get out of this all the way and definitely go back to living our lives. I'm going to go back to seeing you guys in person at conventions, you know what I mean? And doing what we do. So like, I'm just ready for that. And now about the whole international thing, like I definitely want to travel. Like I want to go to, London, England at some point. So hopefully like within the next 2 years, I'll be able to like, accomplish that dream. But I'm just trying to figure out when it's going to be best and safest to make that move. I know that you travel international a lot and, you stay very well protected as far as that goes. What do you think are some of the, how do you think like internationally different like areas that you've been to, like how do you think each one has handled it? Has each one handled it the same or has they handled it like differently?
No, that's such a good question. And certainly, each country handles it differently from as simple as like, during the pandemic last year in Spain, they required everyone to wear masks on the street, whereas in Scotland, the rest of the UK, like that wasn't a requirement. It was more of in closed settings, like, restaurants and on the tube and things like that. So there has been such a variety of responses, and each country has their rules, and it's always so funny to like walk into a country and have to accommodate their rules immediately. But I think I've always kind of had my own COVID rules when it comes to like traveling and things like that. I'm very like particular about like wiping everything down, but
right
overall, traveling, I think in Europe last year it was very not a lot of people. There were not a lot of people on the planes. There were not a lot of people around me. So I always did feel like very safe when I was hopping on an adventure, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And like, I haven't even been on a plane yet. Like I haven't done any kind of air travel in a while. So I'm also glad that you brought that up because I felt like, especially when you see like how it was in the beginning and you know that you're in this confined space with, different people from different walks of life, you know what I mean? And there was so much uncertainty. It just was like really anxiety ridden for me. So I can imagine what it was like for you, going from one place to another. So hats off and props to you. Now, Mike, what'd you say?
It's a cheers.
Oh, yes. So I love that you say cheers. Sorry. See, I wish I had that in my like vocabulary daily. Like, you're so cooler than me. All right. So my last question is, what have been your biggest concerns during this pandemic? Have they changed with time?
Yeah, just like I've said in the beginning, my biggest concern was just the unknown of it all. Not really sure how it would affect my health and like just the health of my other friends who are, at high risk,
Hmm.
having possibly like bad interactions. Like the whole phrase itself was just so much like you're at high risk for possibly having, a bad reaction to COVID. Like it was just all so overwhelming. The unknown, the possibility, I don't, it could be one person that you hang out with, it was just all so overwhelming.
Right.
It was all so overwhelming. But I definitely think just having been vaccinated has certainly made me feel safer, especially in the United States, where
Hmm.
they're a bit,
I
crazy
hear you.
through their thing. So definitely having been vaccinated and just, still following all of my little precautions of hand sanitizing and washing my hands and wiping down new areas and wearing a mask when I feel it's necessary.
Yeah, me too. Like I said, I won't even go around anyone in public without my gloves, my hand
Yeah.
sanitizer, my mask, and my Lysol wipes. Like it's just my mom. Like every time we're at the gym, I won't even grab the doors anymore. With my bare hands. I'm like sticking my hands in my pocket, like grabbing the door, holding it open for her, and like doing the same thing next. I'm just like, I can't. You know what I mean? And I really, it's kind of weird how like ever since this has happened, it's brought in this like realization, you know what I mean, of so many germs and so many different surfaces that we touch
Yeah.
and we have touched on the daily, you know what I mean? But now it's like heightened and everyone's just kind of like, okay, are we going to like touch it like that? Or are we just going to use some kind of safety precaution? So I know me as a warrior, like we want to take the most precaution that we can and just continue to live well. You know what I mean? So I think that's the main takeaway. Now, I know my doctor scheduled me for a booster next Saturday
Mm.
because my second COVID shot or vaccine shot was March.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be like 7 months after your second one. So are you going to be getting the booster? And what do you think about that?
I'm honestly hearing your plan of action, and I'm pretty confident it'll be identical to, my plan of action when it comes to my health. So I will definitely be getting a booster. I haven't talked to my doctor about it yet,
Mm-hmm.
or I haven't gotten the notification from. I have Kaiser, so Kaiser usually is good at staying on top of things. So I'm sure they'll be, hitting me up soon to schedule that appointment, and I'll be getting it. But I have no qualms against that.
Yeah.
The Queen
Well,
Sarah's doctor told her that she has to take it, so I'm sure my doctor will tell me the same.
yeah, like I just feel, if it's gonna add that extra layer of protection, especially for us,
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like it's important and necessary. So I just think that, getting the booster would definitely be more beneficial. And especially so since we're coming to like the holiday season where it's like, Thanksgiving, we want to have normal Thanksgiving this year. We want to have a normal Christmas this year. We want to go out and pop bottles at, New Year's. So I just feel like the booster is definitely very necessary. And that's just what it is. So I'm happy to hear you say that. And just let me know how everything goes with you as far as like after your booster and all that stuff. And if you want to come back and do another one, to catch up and tell everybody where you're at, after the booster, that would be great. We would love to have you again. Thank you so much for, bearing with us and just being wonderful.
It was a pleasure.
And thank you so much for all you do. And please, like I said, anytime you guys need me, I am
Oh,
always here for you. Okay? If
yes,
my schedule permits, you got me.
got you. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Fun.
Thank you so much, Golda. Do you want to say anything or, give any information about like where people can find more of you and, Cayenne Wellness and, all that you're doing, like on Instagram, on any
Great.
social media?
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. So yeah, like I said, I am the program director for Cayenne Wellness Center. So you can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Twitter at Cayenne Wellness. You can find us on Facebook at Cayenne Wellness and Children's Foundation. So please do look us up. We have so many virtual educational and advocacy events for sickle cell warriors, caretakers, providers, and allies. So we would love
Yes.
for you to join us.
Yes. Like I said, I'm always there. So just know that. And thank you again so much.
Hey,
Have a blessed day and have a great weekend.
happy
And
weekend.
just, you too. And thank you so much. And like I said, if you want to come back, just hit us up and we'll get it together, okay?
Thank you. This was so fun. I had so much fun.
Yes. All right. I'll talk to you later.
Toodles.
See ya. Oh my gosh, I love her so much. Isn't she gorgeous? And those braids, like I'm kind of inspired. Like I might have to, do a little braid situation myself after seeing that. Like everything about her is amazing. All right, so that is today's Project COVID Convo. As I said, I am your host, Tristan. Thank you so much for joining us. And I hope that everybody stays well and lives healthy. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.